Hi Cancer, this is your horoscope for September 2017. It's really nice to be with you. Mercury is in retrograde, so I'm changing up all the formats of my videos. Let me know if you prefer this to the way I usually do my monthlies. First thing you need to know about September is that Uranus trines Mars until the 11th of September, and that happens in your 10th and 2nd houses. Uranus is the planet of rebellion, energy, and eccentricity. That sets in your 10th, so there's a huge drive to move your career forward. Mars is the archetypal male principle. It's similar to Uranus. It's kind of like what I want, what I'm not going to compromise on. That's in your 2nd house of making money, career, abundance, belongings, prosperity. So the focus until the 11th is all about how can I improve my career life and how can I improve abundance. Mercury moves from Virgo into Leo on the 1st of September, and it goes back into your 2nd house. Mercury is in retrograde. Mercury is now in retrograde in Leo, which is very fiery, and it's in your 2nd house. So watch out for passionate, urgent, loud ideas which the ego may plant in your head and say, do this immediately, it'll be amazing. Don't do things just, don't just kind of wing things, plan them. Make sure until the 5th of September that you don't do things on a whim, because Mercury in retrograde, when you operate like that and just go with your whims and you're super spontaneous without any planning, you can run into problems when Mercury is in retrograde. It goes direct on the 5th. So do spontaneous, communicative, new businesses, new pop-up shops on the 5th onwards, it'll be better. Venus is in Leo until the 20th in your 2nd house. And then it moves into Virgo in your 3rd house. That's really important because now we've got Mars, the archetypal male principle, sitting in your 2nd house of money. And we've got Venus, the archetypal female, sitting in your 2nd house of money. And usually when you bring men and women together and you leave them long enough, new life begins. Okay? So both of these are in Leo, which is such a fiery sign anyway, and it's all about creating things and passion and making things bigger and fun. Those two sitting in your 2nd house of money really allow you to make a lot of progress in this area of your life until the 20th of September. So don't miss out on that. When it moves into Virgo in your 3rd, you're going to become very much, you're going to listen very much, and you're going to become very teachable from the 20th until the end of the month. So first of all, it's the focus on making money, progressing in your career, and then from the 20th onwards, you're going to be interested in learning new things. On the 5th of September, Mercury goes direct, also in your 2nd house of Leo, so the money starts pouring in now, and your ideas about how to make money you can trust. On the 6th of September, the full moon occurs in Pisces, and that happens in your 9th house. I'll make separate videos on the full moon and the new moon because they can be quite complicated. But this Pisces full moon happens in your 9th house. The 9th house is about education, expansion, growth. And Pisces is spiritual energy. So this is really interesting because it happens on the 6th and you become very teachable on the 20th. So look at what you get during the 6th, during this full moon period. Maybe you have like a dream about you sitting at a university and studying something. Or maybe you have a vision of seeing yourself standing on a platform speaking to an audience. Don't dismiss those things. Make a note of it. See how you feel about it, because that's the kind of thing you could actually learn on the 20th onwards and become very successful. If you haven't discovered your soul purpose yet, that's what this is about here. Also on the 6th, Mars moves into Virgo and into your 3rd house. So Mars now becomes more focused on information and learning. Mars wants what it wants, and Virgo is about bringing things in. It's receptive, it's kind of passive, and it likes to get information coming in. 3rd house is the house of communication. So out of all of the signs, Cancer, you are the most gifted when it comes to learning, communicating, making sense of things, and understanding things here. On the 11th of September, Mercury goes into Virgo in your 3rd house. Mercury rules Virgo, it couldn't be any happier, and the 3rd house is communication. So you can both communicate outwards and you can learn. So Cancer, if you are in a place in your life where you don't know what you're doing, or where things have been a little bit, you felt lost, or things haven't made sense, they'll start to make sense for you in September. Bit of introspection is required. It will be the world. You will get so many answers here in September. It's amazing. On the 20th, the new moon occurs also in Virgo in your 3rd house, so even more Virgo energy is being sucked in. So you're like the professor of the zodiac in September. Finally, on the 30th, Mercury has been bouncing around because of this retrograde, and it moves into Libra in your 4th house. So you go into October now focusing on family and communicating in a harmonious way with family members. So personally, you make huge amounts of progress during this month, especially in terms of money and in terms of understanding yourself and who you are in terms of your career. Some people identify with their career the way I do. You know, I love what I do and it's part of me. It's an extension of me, I feel. But other people work as, you know, sales consultants, and then they go home to their family in the evenings, and they're different people. And if you're one of the people who want to align yourself with your work and make that an extension of who you are, you'll be able to master that here in September. So it's really good news for you. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please just get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the Readings tab to order your reading. And what I do is I draw up your birth chart by looking at your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, you can either use sunrise or I can rectify your chart. And that allows me, it's a blueprint of your soul. It allows me to look at what your soul mission is, what your vocational aptitudes are, your strengths and weaknesses. And I can also use the predictive astrology to look at what's coming up in future via your love life, your finances, your career, family matters, spirituality, health, anything at all. So if you're interested in that, please get in touch. Hope you have a wonderful September, and I'll speak to you in October.